Good morning. Welcome to today's talk on how to get consistent in your business. So from here on out, every Thursday at 11 a.m., I'm going to do a piece on how to elevate your business. So we're going to cover different mindset tips. We're going to cover different business tips. And today we're going to focus on consistency. So for those of you that are new to the group, because I know we have some new people, I'm Joanne O'Halloran and I am a business success coach. So what I do is I show female entrepreneurs how to build momentum in their business so that you can achieve the results that you want. Success looks very different for everybody, and there isn't a one shoe fits all in terms of what true success looks like. Some people want to have a very extravagant lifestyle. Other people want to be able to earn another 3-4 grand a month. Not everybody has it in them that they want to be a millionaire, and you don't need to be. So it's whatever you choose success to be and whatever it looks like for you is beautiful. I can also guarantee you that as you begin to grow and develop, your mindset will change around that, and your version of success will also grow with you. So wherever you're starting at is amazing. And today what we're going to do is we're going to focus on consistency, because consistency is vital in any business. If you are not being consistent, you're not going to build the momentum that you want. You're not going to achieve the results that you want, and you're ultimately going to be unsatisfied. And you're going to feel frustrated that, it's not happening for you. And you're going to question whether or not this is possible for you. Now, before we get into this, I also want you to know that every entrepreneur has faced this. Getting consistent is one of the biggest challenges that I see entrepreneurs facing. And it is the one that if you can nail it and really own it, it makes such a difference. It's not a case that you're not driven to be consistent. It's not a case that you start something and you never finish it and that's never going to change. It's also not a case of it's just the way that I am, that I get distracted, or I find it really hard, or my emotions get the better of me. That's just how things are right now. But all of this can change and you get to grow and develop within that. I did it. I was very scattered. Super scattered. I was great at getting out the gates and starting something. You wanted me to finish something? No. Never would that happen. And I share that with you to show you that you can do it. What I would do instead is I would start something, and if it didn't go the way I wanted to do immediately, and I'm not talking about like tomorrow, I'm talking about in the next 15 minutes, if it didn't go the way that I wanted it to, I'd nearly have like a mini temper tantrum, an adult temper tantrum, whereby like I would just stop, I'd go and I'd make a cup of tea, or maybe I'd bring the dog for a walk, or I would start hoovering. And I don't really like hoovering. Cleaning is not my favorite thing to do, but there'd be something that I would do to distract myself rather than completing. So I was in a habit of self-sabotage. So that's something that you get to have a look at within yourself too, is are you in a habit of self-sabotaging? We are creatures of habit. Everything that we do is a habit. It's a habit driven by our previous experiences, our conditioning growing up, what we saw our parents doing, what we saw our family doing, what was drilled into us, what we experienced in school. All of that has led to the habits that we have today. And our habits are created because it's what we know. It keeps us safe, and we feel comfortable in it, and we don't have to go beyond our comfort zone. So in order for you to reach another level and to break out of whatever's not working for you, you've got to be aware that you have current habits right now and that you get to change them. So there's 3 things that I always teach on: awareness, acceptance, and action. The 3 of them get to go together. Everything in life and everything in business is like a jigsaw puzzle. You can't do one thing and then expect everything else to fall into place, right? The same way you're not going to be able to say, I'll do this when this happens. Or one of the biggest ones is, I don't feel confident yet, so when I feel confident, I'll do it. But here's the beautiful thing about confidence. Confidence comes when you're competent at something. You can't become competent until you do it, until you master it. How do you master it? You master it by doing it. So you've got to be willing to be uncomfortable and move forward anyway in order to be able to be confident in something, right? So consistency is the same. So we're going to break this down into a couple of segments today. So we're going to talk about what consistency looks like. We're going to talk about how do you get it. And we're also going to talk about how do you maintain it. Because that's the one that people really struggle with. Most people will get out of the gate. They'll either say, I'm not doing that, or yeah, I'm doing it, and I'll see how I go, or I'll try. How many people out there have said, I'll try, or I'll see how it goes? Sure, I'll give it a go. That's not really putting your all in. You've already decided that you're giving yourself an out. So when you decide that you're giving yourself an out, what's going to happen? You're going to take the out, right? Because that's what's comfortable. It's a habit. It's what you know. And how we do something in one part of our lives is how we do them in them all. So let's bring it back. What does consistency look like? Consistency, no matter what stage of your business you're at. So whether you're, it's just you've got a business idea right now, or maybe you have gone further than having a business idea and you've started it, but you don't have any clients yet. Or possibly it's running as a nice little side hustle for you and you're ready to bring it to the next level. So it doesn't matter what season of your business you're in. Consistency gets to look the same for everybody, but the flow of it might look slightly different. So let me explain. You get to determine what your working days are, all right? Because the last thing you want to do is burn out. There are so many entrepreneurs out there that are burning out because they feel like they have to do everything, be everything, and they choose to not focus on the activities that are actually going to generate the results that they want. Why? Because of a lack of confidence. Where does confidence come from? Confidence. How do you get confident at something? By doing it over and over and over again, which is where consistency comes in. So let's go back. You get to decide what your working days are in your business. They're not going to be the same for everybody. I personally work the first 3 weeks of every month, and the last week, 10 days, 2 weeks, whatever way it falls in the month, I take off. I might run the odd challenge. I might, I might have intake calls with new clients, but they're something that I choose to do and they're pre-planned. I don't wing it. So I've already planned them out that I know that this is what's going to happen and I plan my time around it. So on the days that I am committed to working, there are the days that I get to show up and be consistent. So in order to be consistent, you got to have a plan. And if you're going to just wing it and you're going to say, well, I'll see how I feel today, or I'll see what's in alignment with me today, I need you to hear this. It's going to be very challenging for you to be able to build momentum because you're going to be flip-flopping between different things. Working in alignment means that you're very clear in your vision and you know where you're going. Working in alignment means that you make decisions based on that. Working in alignment means that you do not go against your moral compass. Working in alignment means that also as women, we know that we have a menstrual cycle, right? So you will get to learn, if you don't already know, what your energy flow looks like during your menstrual cycle. I know that I would never, ever attempt to go into a challenge, a workshop, a masterclass where I was going into sales mode whenever I have my menstrual cycle. Why? Because my energy will be down. I'm going to be cranky AF. I'm just going to be really hot and flustered. I'm not going to feel my best. It will actually take a significant amount of more energy for me to be able to turn myself on completely, like as in the Joanne that I need to be during that time. Therefore, I will never do that. That is working in alignment. It's not doing stuff when you feel like it, or doing stuff when it feels good. So you've got to have a plan. You want to be planning out your full year in advance of when you're doing launches. When are you going to be making offers? When are you going to be doing audience generation? Plan it out for the full year. I have a massive wall calendar here and I have it planned out. It goes straight through from January to December. So you can start now, right? So today's the 7th of July. So you can start now and plan out your year ahead as to when your big events are going to take place. I would never teach live launching every single solitary month because I don't think it's a good flow to be in. I think it can be very draining. I also think it can kind of strangle you in terms of your ability to have an intake and nurture the people that are in there. However, if that's what you want to do and that's your model and it's working for you, then by all means keep it going, but just make sure that it's planned out. You don't wing it, because you want to be able to plan in when you're taking time for your family, when you're taking time for you. If like there's any weddings are coming up, or different things like that you want to be able to have space for, to be able to enjoy. So you want to plan things out to make sure that they're not overlapping. So plan it out. That way then that you are saying, I am committed to creating this during these months. So that's part one, or part two, should I say. Part one is deciding what days that you work. Part two then is planning it out. Part three is the bit that people find really challenging. And again, I'm speaking from experience because I know I did too. And I see a lot of people that I started my journey with experiencing the same thing, that, you know, they've struggled to get the consistency, they've struggled to maintain the momentum, and they've struggled to keep going. But what will make the difference between whether or not you succeed or you give up is that you keep moving forward. So it's an interesting statistic. It takes 3 weeks for you to break a current habit. It takes 6 weeks for you to instill a new one, but it takes 36 weeks for it to become your norm. So think about that. That's more than half a year for something to become your norm. So whatever age you are, like I'm almost 42. So that's a long time for me to have had, say, a particular habit, right? So say when I started my business there almost 3 years ago, my habit would have been to do it when I feel like it, go hell for leather, burn myself out, get absolutely exhausted, and then drop, right? That was my habit. So that was one that I had to break. I also then had another habit that I didn't see until I leveled up, right? So you will also see this when you move to another level and then another level, you will also see that you will also experience the same pattern, because our habits are our habits, right? So this is why awareness, acceptance, and action are key. If you're going to be super stubborn and you know, let your ego drive you and say that's not how it is and I'm doing it this way no matter what, but it's not working for you, that's not having a level of awareness. So you've got to be very aware of what's working for you and what's not, and being open to being coached or receiving feedback from your clients or people that are around you that can actually see this. So when I leveled up, my habit continued, which is where I'd get out the gates. Yes, this time it would be planned. Okay, so it would be planned. My launches would be planned. My events would be planned to get out the gate. But then I also stopped. When it went how I wanted it to, I still stopped. So my habit was to go and stop, go and stop, go and stop, which doesn't work because that wasn't being consistent. And I was very clear in my results. For all of us, we're high achieving women. Okay, so we're driven to succeed. When you're driven to succeed, you will ultimately achieve results. It's impossible for you not to. But the difference will be is the level of results that you achieve. So in order to achieve more than what you currently have, you've got to become very aware and be willing to work with your habits and change your habits. So it's not that you can remove a habit and go, okay, that's gone, I don't need to worry about it anymore. You've got to replace it. You've always got to replace a habit. So let's go back. How do you get consistent? Because that is what we all want. If it takes 36 weeks for you to have a habit that is now your norm, you have got to rinse and repeat every single solitary day. So if you know what days you're committed to working, great. If you don't, declare them now. Declare them to yourself, mark them in your diary, get yourself a wall calendar and put them on. And then on those days that you're committed to working, you get to ask yourself every day, what is the main focus for me today? What is my main priority? And it must be a goal achieving activity, a vision achieving activity, whatever you choose to call it, your goal or your vision. It must be directed towards that. More often than not, I see people, and particularly when I'm holding like roadmap calls, so as in like what your roadmap for your business is, the one thing that I hear more than I hear of anything else is I need to get my website up and running. And I can tell you that drives me bananas. And let me tell you why. I have a website. I drive zero traffic to my website right now. That will change, right? I have been in business for almost 3 years, and I can tell you now, I've had one person out of all the clients that I've coached over the last few years, I have had one person openly tell me that she came to me through my website. Why am I sharing this with you? It is something that, yes, is a business. I'm going to say requirement, and I'm going to say that very loosely, right? It is not where you need to start. Your website is going to sit there. How are you going to drive traffic to it without Google Ads, without your SEO, all of that? You need an audience first, and then you've got to be making sales. Focus on those activities first, not the stuff that's like a nice to have afterwards. Get yourself a landing page. A landing page is not the same as a website, so it's just a one page that will is where you bring people to and you either tell them about your services or you offer them some sort of a free gift. But that is where you want to drive people to. For any of you that have joined any of my events, where I drive you to is the landing page. That's all you need. That's all you need. So when you're looking at your activities that you're going to focus on that day, they need to be money-making activities. So depending on whatever is in your calendar. So say, for example, if you're due to launch a masterclass, great. You obviously want to be able to drive your audience to that. You want to have an audience, you want to drive your audience to it, and then you want to be able to convert them so that they actually opt in to your masterclass. Your activities each day in the lead up to that should be solely focused on that. If you've got clients, obviously you've got to nurture your clients, but they are just set standard ones that are already in. Your priority time gets to be focused on your goal achieving activities. And by doing that every day, even when you don't want to, this is the fun part. It's even when you don't want to. There are days that I get up and I'm like, oh, I could be tired. There might have been, I could have just had a rough night, sleep wise. I don't know, sometimes you could get heartburn, anything that causes any sort of disruption. You get up and you're like, I don't really want to do this today. We've all been there. I was there last week. I'm not even going to lie. I was there last week. I had days last week where I'm like, oh God, I don't want to do this. And when I get like that, I know that my priority time is from this time to this time. And those activities get to get done. If nothing else gets done, that's okay, because the priorities are the priorities. So I can renegotiate with myself for the rest of those times, or I can delegate them off to somebody else. But this is what I get to focus on for this time. So to build a consistency, you get to do them every single solitary day. Whatever your focus activities are, your priorities for that day, you get to make sure that they are done. Now, will you fall off the bandwagon and have times where you're like, I can't do this, I feel overwhelmed? Yep. So if you have ever felt that, if you're feeling that right now, say to yourself, oh, thank goodness I'm not on my own, right? It's part and parcel, because you're trying to break a habit, you're trying to break into a new way of being to get yourself into that place where you can succeed. So don't beat yourself up for feeling like that. Go, okay, I accept. So I'm aware that I'm feel like that. I accept that I feel like that, and I'm going to get up and do it anyway. The worst thing that you can do is find somebody to have a conversation with that will agree with how you're feeling. And what I mean by that is we all have people in our lives who we can go to when we want a good bitch and a moan, right? And we want to sit in judgment and we want to be right. And, we just want to give out about the world and everything else. They're not the people that you really want to be surrounding yourself by when you're in building your business mode. You want to surround yourself with people that will let you vent, so you get it off your chest, because you need to. We never want to hold our emotions in, but that you get it off your chest. And then you go, okay, what do I get to do now that will move me forward? Sometimes it's going out into the woods with a pillow and screaming really loudly. Sometimes it's going out in your car and screaming really loudly. Other times it's having a good old cry and then going, right, I've cleared it. I'm ready to go. I know I feel scared, but I am doing this, because I am are the most powerful words in the English language. So whatever you say after that matters. To be consistent, you've got to keep showing up, even when you don't feel like it. To be consistent, you've got to dust yourself off when shit goes wrong and go again. Stuff is going to go wrong. Fact. Things are not going to go the way you want them to all the time. Fact. You're probably going to have some people that are like, you are legitimately crazy for doing this. Great. And you keep moving forward anyway. If something isn't serving you, put it in a mind your own business box. I literally mean that. Get yourself, I'm just looking around here for a box, get yourself like a shoebox or something, right? Mind your own business on it, or mind my own business. And anything that doesn't serve you, that people say to you or that you think, shove it in there. Do whatever it takes to keep moving forward, but to be consistent, to know that it's going to take 36 weeks for this to become your new norm. So whether that's getting up early, whether that's making your business a priority before the kids get up, whether it's choosing to spend 2 hours on 4 evenings a week, focusing on this when the kids are in bed, whether it's you take every Saturday to do this, whatever it takes to succeed, do it. People tend to want to only do things that are comfortable. Unfortunately, success in business requires you to go work past that. And let me share something with you. As high achieving women, our comfort zone is much further out than other people's, which means that we will generate and create a lot before we hit that comfort zone. For some people, that's 10K months. And then they're like, oh crap. For other people, it's, when they start getting calls to book sales, that's when they start to freak out. Everybody has a different level of comfort. So know what yours is, bring awareness to it, accept it, and move forward anyway. So now I have something else super exciting for you that will also support you with this. In 10 days time, so on the 17th of July, I have a new event coming up called Women Driven to Succeed. And every woman in this community is driven to succeed. The women that are coming together on this day, it's a live event. It's not pre-recorded. You've got to show up for yourself, which is why we've done it on a Sunday. So women from across the globe who are female entrepreneurs, 6 and 7 earners, so you're in amazing hands, are going to walk you through from the very beginning, getting connected to your passion and purpose. How do you beat imposter syndrome? And what are the business strategies that will help you achieve exponential results in your business? Because that's what we all want. So we've got a range of speakers on the day. We've got lots of business coaches, which are amazing. And some of them, if you've been in this community for a while, there is 2 of them that you will know and that you will have seen before. And then the rest are brand new. I know all of these ladies. They are absolutely incredible. And the businesses that they've built are insane. And there's one lady in particular that I think will be of huge interest to you, who shows you how to change your side hustle into a 6-figure business. Who doesn't want to know about that, right? So I've put the link here. It's www.womendriventosucceed.com for you to get access. It's completely free. It is a live event on the 17th of July from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. GMT, which is 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. EST. I had to think there for a second. My math wasn't working for me. But click on it, get access to it, and share it with everybody, because this is an event that is going to catapult your results. If you turn up, you take the coaching, because taking the coaching is key. It's so key to be able to build and grow your business, and to see consistency within it is to take the coaching instead of trying to do it your way. I tried to do it my way for an awful long time until I let go of my ego and went, okay, my way is not working. It's just not working. And that's when you start to see changes in your business. So from today, your takeaways are: plan out your year. Decide what days you're working, plan out your year. Focus on your goal achieving activities in whatever time you have committed to working. And even if you get nothing else done in the day, to have them focused on, to have them completed, you will see results. It's going to be very challenging for you not to, if you focus on them. And get your ticket to Women Driven to Succeed. I'll see you next week.